DUI loopholes. My son's killer walked free. Justice failed my son. It can fail yours too. Imagine, a repeat drunk driver kills your child. He's too intoxicated to blow into a breathalyzer. So instead of jail, he goes home with his mother. My name is Sara Raney, and I'm sharing this because it happened to me. My only son, Dr. Kenley Gene Raney, was killed by a repeat drunk driver. I do this not because it's easy, but because victims are rarely told the truth about how the system really works. While your loved ones are being zipped into a black body bag, so badly hurt you'll never see their face again, the man who killed my son keeps his license and his freedom. That's what happened when a drunk driver crashes into a parked car in a state rest area at 147 miles per hour. The offender walks away, while me and victims' families endures a lifetime of pain. Please understand this. No one is going to give you this information. And there's a reason why. The system doesn't want you showing up, asking questions, or demanding your rights, because it makes their job harder. The DA's office would rather you disappear so they can quietly clear cases from their desk and brag about their success rate when election time comes around. Here are the loopholes that make this possible. Too intoxicated to conduct a test at the crash site. No breathalyzer or blood test, a BAC or blood alcohol concentration. Without a test, there is no suspension. The driver retains their license and walks free. If by any chance that they are arrested, or when they get arrested, they have quick bail. Home the same night, even after causing a fatal crash, like in my son's case. The system favors offenders. Victims are often perceived as the problem. Now let's break these down. Too drunk to test. When an offender is considered too intoxicated to blow into the breathalyzer, officers sometimes delay testing instead of immediately ordering a blood test, a BAC, blood alcohol concentration. So by the time blood is finally drawn, sometimes hours later, the alcohol level has already decreased. As a result, crucial evidence is lost. Why does this happen? Because police officers are required to follow their state laws. And those laws vary. Many places mandate that officers need to either get the driver's consent, a warrant from a judge, or an exigent circumstance exception to take blood. But instead of using that power to protect the public, many officers hesitate, worried that a defense attorney will later get the evidence, throw it out on a technicality. In my case, it took 10 months before a BAC blood result was finally filed. 10 months. And during that time, the defense already had prepared ways to rip it apart. They could argue about how the blood was drawn, how it was stored, whether the technician followed procedure, or if the chain of custody was broken. One technicality and the evidence could be tossed out, like it never existed. However, in my case, I did not have a jury trial or a bench trial. In my case, they did a plea deal behind closed doors. And yes, that is legal. They do not need the victim's approval. They don't want our approval or even notify us. The cruel reality is this. The law that should have protected my son ended up protecting the drunk driver who killed him. The hard truth is no one is working for the victim. Be a Momma Bear. The bond loophole. Cash bonds versus bail bonds versus PR bonds. Cash bond. The full amount of bail is paid directly to the court by the offender or their family. If they appear in court, the money may be returned, minus fees, may be returned. If they run, it's lost. Bail bond. If the offender doesn't have the money, a family member can go through and pay the bail bondsman. The family pays a non-refundable fee typically, around 10% of the bail, and the bondsman covers the remaining amount. PR bond, personal reconnaissance. This one costs nothing. The offender simply signs paperwork promising to return to court. If they vanish, there's no financial penalty. After Dennis disappeared on the bail bond, his grandmother paid the court. He got rewarded a personal reconnaissance bonds. He didn't have to put any money down. And he disappeared again for 3 months. That's the cruel irony. Victims are left paying the price in blood and grief, while offenders walk free, sometimes over and over, because the bond system protects them instead of the public. How did I get that information? Another screw up by the DA's office. I've covered that in another video as well. When Dennis was rewarded with a PR bond, the message was clear. Your actions don't really matter. A PR bond tells the offender also, we trust you. We believe you'll come back on your own. System protects offenders. The system goes to great lengths to shield offenders from procedural mistakes, because defense attorneys will seize on any error, but in protecting the criminal, the victim's family is always ignored. This isn't justice. It's betrayal. And that's why I speak out, because if it happened to me, it can happen to your family too. If you believe victims deserve the truth, please share this video, subscribe to my channel, and help me expose the loopholes that protect offenders instead of families like ours. I am Sara Raney, proud mother of Kenley Gene Raney, who died by a repeat drunk driver January 25, 2019. Thank you.